Coming up, Governor Tate Reeves announces that he will be rescinding the statewide mask mandates and allowing businesses to return to full capacity. But you may not see these changes here in Oxford. Find out why, that and more coming up next. Newswatch Ole Miss starts now. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. I'm Mason Scioneaux. Governor Tate Reeves is loosening COVID-19 restrictions in Mississippi. He tweeted out, "We are lifting all of our county mask mandates and businesses will be able to operate at full capacity without any imposed rules." The governor explains that move in light of the drop in hospitalization and case numbers and the increase in vaccine distribution. The governor said that local governments can still have stricter rules than the state. The university can breathe a sigh of relief. Ole Miss announced Friday its plans for a full in-person fall 2021 semester. This will include fully in-person and on-campus courses and operations, marking the resumption of normalcy for the first time since March 6, 2020. Chancellor Boyce made the announcement through email, and the school posted his statements to its various social media accounts. Boyce said, "As we remain committed to doing all we can to operate similar to fall 2019, we will monitor the distributions of the vaccine closely. The university community is reacting with much excitement for a return to the traditional campus atmosphere. Decisions regarding the summer session and intersession will be announced soon." Some students may qualify for the vaccine. We know that older people over the age of 65 can get the vaccine in Mississippi. Those over 18 with some underlying conditions can also get a vaccine. Ole Miss students with any of these conditions listed from the Mississippi Department of Health can receive a COVID-19 vaccine. Appointments can be scheduled at covidvaccine.umc.edu. The State Department of Health's Vaccine Distribution Center is located at the Oxford Conference Center and National Guard Armory on Ed Perry Boulevard. President Biden is taking action to ensure that small businesses aren't overlooked when applying for Paycheck Protection Program loans, and this is helping some businesses right here in Oxford. Newswatch reporter Kaylee Crafton has the details. Kaylee?
The Paycheck Protection Program is a federal aid program that provides businesses with loans to make sure their employees are taken care of during COVID-19. And some Oxford businesses are finding it easier to apply for these loans with the recent changes in the program.
President Biden and his administration are changing things up in an effort to reach small minority-owned businesses. Starting on Wednesday, February 24th, the Small Business Administration began accepting applications for forgivable Paycheck Protection Program loans only from businesses with less than 20 employees. This 2-week initiative ends 1 week from today. But what does that mean in the meantime? It's a chance for smaller businesses and sole proprietors that have been affected during COVID-19 and left behind in previous rounds of aid to finally receive funds. Oxford chef and owner of Key Gourmet, Kiana Jackson, is taking advantage of these temporary program changes.
My tax preparer has applied on my behalf, and we're waiting to see if I will be approved.
Jackson, like many other small business owners, has faced economic hardships due to the pandemic.
It has not been easy. Of course, every business has had its issues. The food industry has really taken a hit due to the pandemic because of the guidelines back and forth, and then people being nervous about being out in public. They don't know if food is being handled correctly.
If approved for a Paycheck Protection Program loan, Jackson, a one-woman operation, could expand her business and push past the financial limit she's experiencing.
I need more things that will make my business run more efficiently. I can get other contracts in more business, but I'm not equipped to handle bigger contracts at the time, so it's limiting the amount of revenue that I can actually bring in.
Reporting, Kaylee Crafton, Newswatch, Ole Miss.
The Oxford Police Department created a community response team this week. The team will be handling victim services. OPD answers over 1,000 calls per year when victim services are needed, and the response team will identify these cases, train officers to recognize such cases, and connect citizens with victim services. The creation of the team comes after Mayor Tannehill and the Board of Aldermen allocated funding and resources for its creation. It will initially consist of just one full-time employee and volunteer officers and staff members. The future of ambulance services in Oxford is in jeopardy, as the Lafayette County Board of Supervisors is in contract negotiations with Baptist Memorial Hospital. The concern comes after local residents like Kevion Taylor voiced their opposition to a proposed contract posted to the city's website. Taylor said that the ramifications of the contract are egregious and cannot be ignored. In the contract, Baptist agrees to relinquish control of the 911 dispatch service, including emergency medical services in Lafayette County. It would also leave Oxford with only one readily available ambulance, putting residents in a difficult spot if more than one emergency occurs at once or if the ambulance crashes. Taylor has created a petition to lobby the city to change the contract. His initial goal was 200 signatures, but he is now looking to get 500. The Rebel baseball team is looking to right the ship after a rocky weekend, and Ole Miss can broadly boast their newest conference coach of the year. I've got that and more coming up in sports, but first, the weather.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Yeah, Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum.
Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. The Ole Miss baseball team found out the hard way this weekend that it isn't always easy being number one. The Rebels were riding high into the weekend series against UCF, but the Knights quickly humbled them, stealing 2 out of the 3 games. The story of the weekend for Coach Bianco's squad was quiet bats. The 3-2 loss game ended the Rebs' 20-game win streak, dating back almost a year. The two had fans nervous that it was all falling apart with the Rebs down 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th. But a rally capped by a walk-off single from Tim Elko sent Justin Bench across the plate for a 6-5 win. In the last game of the series Saturday night, the struggles at the plate resurfaced, with only 2 runs off 7 hits and 6 runners left on base. Not to mention 13 strikeouts, which brought the Rebs to a 7-2 loss. They have a chance to right the ship this week. Starting with 2 midweek games, they played host to the Memphis Tigers last night, and today they host Jackson State. Now the 5th-ranked Rebels will then host Belmont for a 3-game series this weekend. Tossing it over to the court, the women's basketball game made a big comeback Sunday against 17th-ranked Kentucky, 73-69. Junior Shakira Austin recorded 22 points and 12 rebounds for her 9th career double-double. After an 11-point deficit, Danetta Johnson assisted the team with 14 back-to-back shots in the second half to help even out the score.
With 26 seconds left of the game, Chastity Patterson sank a three-pointer, and Johnson made 4 straight free throws, resulting in a 4-point win. Ole Miss is now looking ahead to the conference tournament as the 11 seed and will face 6th seeded Missouri in the first round. Keeping it on the court, the Ole Miss women's basketball finished their season with record-setting awards for the program. Shakira Austin, Madison Scott, and Scioneaux Collins all earned first-team All-SEC. Madison Scott was the first Rebel awarded Freshman of the Year since 2003. Scioneaux Collins was also recognized as All-Freshman. Shakira Austin recorded 9 double-doubles throughout this season, which ultimately resulted in 1,000 career points, 700 career rebounds, and 150 career blocks. Catch them in action Thursday against the Tigers. Sending it over to the soccer field, the women's team took down Memphis 3-1 on Monday evening. In only 5 minutes, Haley Stackpole scored 2 goals, putting the Rebels in the lead. Sadie Holland netted a goal of her own on her only shot of the last game. In the last 30 minutes of the game, junior Ashley Orkis had 5 different saves and contributed to the strong defensive standby Ole Miss in the last 30 minutes. Ole Miss faces Georgia again this weekend as they look for their straight third. And finally, the Ole Miss rifle team was recognized for 16 honors from the Great America Rifle Conference this past Sunday, a program record. Leah Horvath ranked in the top 5 of the conference and also earned Great America Rifle Association Rookie of the Year. Kristen Durding also earned honors for small bore second team and aggregate second team. Head coach Marcia Beasley was named Conference Coach of the Year alongside assistant coach J.P. Lucas, who was awarded Assistant Coach of the Year for the second season. Ole Miss will be competing at the 2021 NCAA Rifle Championship in Columbus, Ohio next Friday and Saturday. That's all I've got for sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Newswatch_Ole Miss, on Instagram at Newswatch Ole Miss for the latest sports updates. Mason, back to you.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. Make sure to follow our social media pages for all updates. I'm Mason Scioneaux. Thank you and have a wonderful day.